Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we're doing the readings for the November of 2023. We are using the Wisdom of the Oracle Divination Cards by Colette Baron-Reid, and we're using the Elder Futhark on maple wood. So, sorry, I'm just wrestling with things on the side. So, let me just get this in order, which I ought to have done before I started recording, but hey ho, off we go. Okay, so we're going to start with a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle Divination Cards and see what your November is going to be like, or just get a sense of the flavor. So deep knowing. So this month for you, Taurus, is going to be about coming into a deep knowing, coming into a realization, like an epiphany about a thing that you realize that you do actually know. Like you like it's sinking in deeply with the thing that you are realizing. So let's get some runes down to clarify. Get some nice runes out of the maple runes. Ooh, neat. Okay. And I'm like, from this, I would say this is like deep knowing based on that you have been doing a thing. Like this is like the deep knowing that comes of like muscle memory or of doing something often and many times, and then you realize this is like actually just like really like ingrained now. So your central issue this month is represented by Ingvaz. Ingvaz is the rune of Ing. Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is the fertility god, and this has to do with active creation. You're like basically using what you have to create what you want or what you need. Leading up to this, you've actually just completed a thing. Like you've just completed a season. We have Yira, which is the rune of the harvest, and also time. And it basically indicates that there's something that you have brought to completion recently that you've just basically, a season has ended for you. And now you are taking up what you're going to be using for the new creating and working with that. So what is going to help you is be open to things. Like whenever you create anything, like let's take, for example, something you're writing, some fiction that you're writing. You can plan that out, but if you don't allow for the surprises to come in, then the thing's not going to have the life that it would have otherwise. Like if you are, because often like when I would be writing, like I would have a plan for the way things would come out. And if I'd forced that plan on what was going on with the characters, it wouldn't have worked as well. But instead, just let it play out the way that it will. And when it happens, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be like, it will happen at the perfect time and it'll be better than you planned. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about with being open while you're creating. Like, don't just be wrestling something into a very, very rigid shape. What you're working with, allow for the surprises, allow for things to come in that you didn't expect and that will enrich it more. And you're able to do that because what you're doing, you are very, very good at, to the point where it's as I said, it's like a muscle memory kind of thing. It's like you don't have to think about it while you're doing it. It's like if you practiced an instrument, like a musical instrument, for years and years and years, and you don't have to think about it. Like you don't have to think, okay, when I make this note, I have to make my fingers do this. It's like naturally happening. So this is the deep knowing. Like what you're working with this month, Taurus, is going to be like that. Whatever it is you're working with, it's something that is going to come very naturally to you. And because of that, you're able to allow in these surprises that are going to enrich the thing, and you are able to bring that in and work with that. What isn't going to help is you're worried about energy levels. We have Sovila, which is the sun. And you're a bit worried about source, like your energy levels. This has to do with source energy. So either you're worried about burnout. You don't want to like push too hard and burn out. You're a bit worried about that. And also, if you do push too hard, you might have to contend with that. So just basically, and I guess also in relation to these, because these are always the altar, like this is always the antidote to this, but this can ruin that if you let it. So basically, in relation to that, where you're being open to surprises that are going to come in while you're working on this, if you just basically blaze through it and not allow for the surprises, that's not going to help with what you're doing. You know, yes, you've got the deep knowing, but then you're just sort of running on automatic, and that's not you don't want that. What you're creating something, and the thing is alive. So like there's a life to it. And in order to maintain that, make sure that you are staying open to whatever may come, that might come in, that might be like, oh, you know what, that'll work really nicely with what I'm working on. And what this will lead you to is, by the end of the month, you're going to feel like, okay, I've begun the beginning to the beginning on the new thing. Like this is sort of like, this month it looks like basically you've just come out of something that you have completed. And here you are, you're starting this new thing. You're getting things into place. You're using what you have to get them into place. And you're also allowing for the surprises to come in that might be something new that enriches what you're working with. We have in the outcome, like in the last place in this spread for the month of November, we have Berkana reversed. Berkana is the rune of beginnings and birth. And reversed, I will often read this as inner, but I'm sort of like, this has been like the prologue part of this new thing. So you're like beginning the beginning of the beginning kind of thing. It's not really begun yet, but you're really laying the groundwork for it this month. So, and there's also like an internal, like the reason that this is also important, this stage of a project, is that you're working inwardly. This is the way that you're beginning a new beginning internally as well, because you have to have that with you while you're working on it, or else you're not going to be able to move together heart, soul, and mind on the new thing that you're creating or working on. So that, Taurus, is your reading for November 2023. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.